Acha.
Hi everyone, it's Hira and
Fizza.
and we are here trying to bring out this new venture, which we are calling the Acha podcast. Yes. So we chose Acha because Acha is such a versatile word in Urdu. Like you can use it in a lot of different contexts, and it can have different emotions attached to it. Yeah. And that's kind of what we want this podcast to be about. Is just we talk about whatever, right? We're sisters. We think we're funny. We're probably not that
Here's
funny.
the thing: people have told us when we yap, we're hilarious. So
when we say people have told us, it's our friends.
It's our friends and our family. But also, like, I think we're funny. I don't know if you.
I just live in my own world.
We have a bunch of different kinds of things that we want to talk to you guys about, but today we are going to be talking about
2016 versus 2026 trend.
We thought it was a great topic, kind of to talk about like where the two of us were in 2016 versus where we are now.
You know what's wild to me is because I have mom brain, I had to scroll back and look at my pictures to remember where I was in 2016 because I
How old
don't.
was I in 2016?
No.
17.
17, 18. Yeah.
Wait, I was 17, 18 years old?
2016.
2016.
Summer 16.
What I do know about 2016 is I had like freshly graduated high school.
Yeah.
Like May or June of 2015. So it was my first year doing my undergrad, and I was completely lost. Not only like in what I wanted to do in school, because you remember like we had that conversation about how I'm really passionate about wanting to help people, like work in the community that way, but also like focus on mental health.
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, like maybe I'll be a social worker like you.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I'm too much of an empath, and like it's just not. I would really struggle with that, especially like given the things that you've seen as a social worker.
Yeah.
So I just like decided to do an undergrad in psych, but I didn't declare it until later.
Yeah, you took a hot
It
minute.
took a while, yeah. And
That's
then
fine.
yeah, and then also an identity crisis. For those of you who do or do not know, I was a hijabi at the time.
As was I, but not at the time.
So just like navigating living in a smaller city where there weren't a lot of Muslim people to begin with, and already feeling like so like singled out in a sense.
Like othered.
Yeah.
Honestly, from 2016, my most vivid memories are from summer 16 when we went to Pemberton, because I think that same year we also went to Faded. And then I also was having an identity crisis because the year before is when I took my hijab off.
Right.
And my hair had started falling out a lot more. I had androgenic alopecia. And I wear wigs now because like that's just where it is. And that was tough. Mom was not happy. Which was that was hard.
Understandably so.
I get why she was unhappy about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also kind of did it when she went to Pakistan. And I remember I was working at Lush, and one shift I just showed up without my hijab on and threw all my coworkers into a panic because
They're just like, oh my God.
they just thought that I forgot to wear it. I worked with this one kid. What the heck was? I don't think I'll say his name, but
You shouldn't say his name.
he was really funny. He was a sweet kid. And he looked at me. He's like, "Are we married now?"
Hello, what was he, 15?
He was literally like a child. It was funny. I was going to college at the time. Also didn't know what I wanted to do with my life because this is a pattern.
This definitely is a pattern.
Listen, if you're struggling with not knowing what you want to do with your life, you'll figure it out.
You know what's so interesting is like we were all going to university right out of high school, A, and then B, figuring out what the heck you want to do like immediately. So like when someone would tell me like, oh, like I'm just going into like general studies, that gave me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I have to know exactly what I want to do, which brings me to my next point, when I wanted to be a music therapist.
Oh yeah.
So initially I wanted to do music therapy because we had a neighbor who had used it for one of her kids.
Oh yeah.
She was telling me about like the effects that it had on her baby, and you know, I love music. I'm so passionate about singing and all that stuff. So I visited Capilano University. Basically got told that it's a very like westernized like system in a sense. Like,
What do you mean?
we were talking about like requirements to get in.
Oh,
and
this,
like it was hard because like nobody else that I knew kind of went down that path. All of us really took our own path.
we did.
with your like all of our careers. And so I was told by the advisor, like, no, like to get in, you need like 10 plus years of like RCM level piano playing and like have all this experience. And I'm like, I just do this for fun. Anyways, not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My identity crisis lasted very many years. I'm probably still having it.
Fair.
Because I changed career paths 500 million times.
Yes.
And I graduated high school 5 years before you did.
And some people think that you should still be a lawyer.
I want to be a lawyer. Lawyers are liars.
You did.
I'm just kidding. They're not, but that's
I mean, all right.
Trying to go to med school in Pakistan for God knows what reason.
Oh, yeah.
And then came back, and then I was like, okay, well, I still have to like do the whole like, you know, the immigrant diaspora kid thing where like you want to please your parents. So then I was like, okay, I'll try for pharmacy, and then I was like, JK, I don't know, I don't understand chemistry. I was like, okay,
I don't know. I don't know. Period.
I just don't know. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe nursing. And I'm like, I don't want to poke people with
Hell no.
Nurses. Y'all run the medical system. Kudos to you.
Yes.
Like we have friends. Our sister-in-law's a nurse. Our friends, like it,
yes.
it could not do what you do. But then I randomly went to a career advisor or whatever at the college, and I was like, listen, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like I should have been graduated at this point. Like I don't know what the hell's going on with my life. We had moved provinces. Like my credentials were not transferable. It was a whole thing. And then so they did a career test, and like the top 3 things that came was principal, which
wait, like the principal of a school?
Yeah. Social work.
I got crosswalk guard when I was.
That's a volunteer position.
I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. It's my ADHD. When you do, okay, hear me out. If 3 of the 4 of the Rashids are diagnosed with ADHD, and I display symptoms of ADHD, I have ADHD. I'm self-diagnosed. I got crosswalk person in high school.
That's not a career.
Isn't that career? Isn't that weird? I got music therapist.
I was a crosswalk person when I was
elementary. Okay, you got principal.
Yeah. Social work, and then I forgot what the 3rd one was, and I was like, okay, well, they're like, oh, you could be a social worker, and my immediate response was like, I don't want to steal people's kids.
I mean,
it's not. Listen,
she didn't say it. I said it.
Social work is a form of policing, and I will always stand by that.
Believe it.
The guy was like, well, you can sit in on a class, like just ask the prof beforehand, and that's when I sat on my first communications class, and I was like, oh wow, like this is really interesting, and just the way that they were learning how. I think that day the lecture was something about like communication, using I language instead of you language, and that was the first time I had heard of it.
Right.
I thought it was really cool. Got to talk to the prof afterwards, and I'm like, okay, like this could be a thing. And then then I enrolled, and now 10 years later, I am in the career.
Love it.
Yeah, still having an identity crisis though. It feels like such a long time ago, but also not that long. I think it depends on your memories. Like there's some memories that are so vivid you feel like they happened yesterday, and then there's some memories you're like that was a bajillion years ago, and it really wasn't that long ago.
You know what's funny? In first year of uni, so like this is 2016, we had to take like the basic like bio and whatever else, right? I came to a realization that the system does not teach you how to properly study in like grade school.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I was always such a good student when I was younger. You know what I mean? And then when university happened, I would like get so much anxiety about my bio class. I'd go to like write the exam. I wouldn't know anything. I'm just like, I don't know, like what am I doing wrong? I thought I studied, right? And I ended up getting like a C in that class or something at the end of the year. And I remember just like crying to Pai and being like, can you go and write the exam for me? We were both working at the time though, right?
Full time.
At the mall?
I was working. Oh my god.
Okay, so this is before.
No, we had already been working there.
Yeah.
When we were both hijabis.
Yes. But but you weren't a hijabi in 2016 though, right?
No.
But when you were a hijabi.
Oh god.
But people are so stupid.
Racism.
It is. It definitely is racist.
Okay. We look alike. We get it all the time. Okay,
and we used to both wear glasses, and we used to both wear hijabs. So like, come on now.
Always
we both have our noses pierced.
I've always been heavier set than you, and I'm like, do people not see that? Also, I have a mole. Do people not see that? So we worked the same small mall, 2 stores apart. Fizz used to work at Stitches. I used to work at Lush, and people would be at Stitches shopping, and Fizz would be working, and then they would come over to Lush, and I'd be working, and they'd be like, How did you get here so fast? First of all, get here, change my clothes, gain God knows how much weight on the way, grow a mole,
Oh my.
and grow half an inch taller because I'm half an inch taller than you.
Grow a mole. You just have bad posture. That's why I also have bad posture, but that's probably why.
That's true. When I stand up straight, I'm like a full inch taller than I actually am. Work on that.
Crazy. It's a little too late, honestly. I tell myself I'm gonna do that, work on my posture and everything, and then I'm like, oh,
my physiotherapist.
It hurts.
Told me that I have a. He was trying to be nice, but he's like, you have a rounded back.
My massage therapist told me that I have one of the worst postures he's like ever seen, and I'm like,
we're very similar, clearly.
The both of us have struggled with like
we have some really bad body image issues.
We have really bad body image issues. It's a common thing, and listen, like, this is part of what the podcast is for. Is like we're gonna
normalize talking about this stuff, like
100% honest about it, right?
Yeah.
So, 2016, like I had always been working out, like doing HIIT workouts. It's the time I was following like Liba Zed,
right?
In the beginning when she did like those HIIT workout challenges or whatever, right?
Right.
But like growing up in a Desi community in a household where like food intake was monitored, we didn't have a good concept of like what is nutritious, like what are we supposed to be eating, like portion size, all that kind of stuff, right?
How to make your food work for you.
Exactly. Yeah. And how to nourish your body. And so like I always thought, even when I was like my leanest, that I was like bigger, I was fat.
The funny thing about like us growing up with like body image issues is I was always heavier than you, and I would always hear that, like, but here's the thing, like, Fizza's really good at consistency and actually staying on top of things. I'm not. I quit after like 2 seconds. I don't know if it's my ADHD or whatever, but she was always able to be consistent with like what she was eating and working out and this, and me,
whether it was healthy or not.
Yeah, whether it was healthy or not, but at least you were consistent. I was not. I was never. And a part of that wasn't just because I was lazy. It was also like I was working a full-time job, a part-time job, and going to school full-time. Like, it was a lot. Plus, I have PCOS, which was undiagnosed for years.
What year did you get diagnosed?
Oh my God. We were still living in Alberta.
Oh,
so it was before we had moved.
And how many years did it take? Well,
the endocrinologist said that after she had taken my whole history, is like my first signs and symptoms probably showed up when I was 14. I think I was 18. So 4 years. And that's when I was gaining all that weight and no one knew what the hell was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's wild is that, so I also got diagnosed as like a couple years ago. Yeah. And tell me why it took like pretty much the same amount of time all of these years later for me to get a diagnosis. 2016.
Yeah.
Appreciation for thy body.
But yeah, so 2026. Oh my gosh, 2026.
We're literally the same person.
I know. Okay, so 2026. I am a social worker now. I know what I want out of my career. I have my main job, and then I have other passion projects, I guess you could say, working in community, stuff online. I got married in the last 10 years. I have a baby. We love her.
Sweetie pie.
Yeah, I'm a mom. Like, I would not have thought in 2016. First of all, I was a friend that was never supposed to get married or have kids. You can ask any of my friends. Like, I wanted to, but I was also like, men. Yeah. So
that's gonna be a whole other.
You know what? It's always the biggest man haters that are happiest in their relationships. But I love my husband. I have the cutest baby, mashallah. And yeah, I'm on mat leave. And it's wild to me because sometimes I look at her and I'm like, where did you come from? Like, you're here.
I know.
It's wild.
I can't even imagine, like, you know, like you grow this entire human being inside you. Like, you haven't seen it whatsoever.
Listen.
And then it's just there.
The entire time I was pregnant. No, when she started kicking, immediately Alien versus Predator. I was like, oh my God, Alien versus Predator.
Oh, and then I would always ask her, like, what does it feel like when the baby kicks you or moves inside? She's like, the easiest way to explain it is if you, like, run your tongue along the inside of your cheek.
But like, try and isolate the feeling of your tongue and just focus on the feeling on your cheek.
Yeah, that's not happening.
It doesn't make sense. She was kicking.
Yeah.
She was kicking. And then she came out and started kicking me again. And I was like, I told you to save your kicks for your dad. In 10 years, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. I moved out. I got independent. I was financially independent from my parents. I did some traveling without telling them. Remember the Costa Rica thing? Costa Rica was 2014, where I basically gave my mom 2 days notice before I packed up and went off to live there for the summer. That was great.
I was just like imagining myself just like silently just like being like Appa's doing things and I'm like, okay, yes, this is great. Trailblazer, essentially. Eldest, literally.
The eldest daughter just tries to escape, and that's what I was trying to do.
And made the path easier for the rest of us.
You're welcome.
Love you.
But yeah, what about you?
So graduated, did my oh my god, I graduated when COVID just started.
Oh, I hate that.
Can you imagine the child that always wants the most attention doesn't even get to have like a proper grad and like walk the stage? It was a virtual graduation.
We did do a makeshift
but
grad.
They did it, yeah.
In the,
my family was
basement.
Sweet.
we had to walk across the basement.
It was so sweet, actually. I feel so loved like in moments like that. But yeah, so I graduated, and then I had been working with the crisis center in the city for like a long time, like since maybe slightly before 2016.
Yeah, you were a teenager.
Yeah. So like I kind of like did different roles. Like I started as a volunteer, and then I eventually made my way up to like program assistant. Yeah. I moved out as well, and I'm very grateful to.
And moved in with me,
my older 2 siblings, because
and Ferran.
I had already moved to Vancouver to start med school, and then you had moved out.
Yeah.
That was actually a huge change for me. Like
me moving out.
You moving out.
Yeah, because, I wasn't the first to move out.
Right. So like, of course. My older brother moved out. I was really...
Who was younger than me.
Yes. And I was like... Obviously, all of us were heartbroken. I just remember myself like crying all the time.
When I moved out?
No, when he moved out. But yours was a whole different story. Because like, I don't know if any other like younger sisters like relate to this. But like, I would always look at my older sister as like a person who would validate like everything that I did. Like, I'd like go to her. And then I just kind of like run something by her and then just see what she had to say about it. And then I'd be like, okay, this is great. So I had to learn to like separate myself from that because I could like come to you like immediately with things, right? Or like with any kind of crisis. But then when you had moved out, that put me in the position of being the eldest. But also, which I mean, I didn't experience a fraction of what you probably had to go through. I acknowledge that. But not being able to like come to you immediately really helped me develop like my independence and like my decision making, which by the way, I'm so bad at making decisions. I think it was helpful. And then when I moved out, that's when I like really understood like the importance of like having to pay your rent on time. Like I was lucky enough that you guys would cook for me, right? I'd cook. I hate cooking. I cook every once in a while. I'm so like, I tell my brother-in-law all the time, he's so lucky to have her. And I'm like grateful to be living here right now because like I get to eat your food all the time. But
I like cooking.
Yeah, that was a really big change for me too in the last 10 years.
You know what's interesting? I know, like, I love you guys so much, and like, you're always like, oh yeah, you were so supportive, and like this, that, and I'm like, from my perspective, I was just trying to keep shit together. It was chaos. No, in a funny way. Like, oh, they're coming to me for advice. Okay, let's see if this works. But not actually knowing.
You did that shit confidently, though.
Oh, I'm such a good liar.
I'm a terrible liar.
That's a really bad trait to have. But like,
I'm a terrible liar.
Like, you know how like I hear things like, oh, you're really good at public speaking. If people could see inside my brain,
dude,
but absolute panic all the time. So like, if you guys ever came to me for like advice or like whatever, I was in crisis for so many years. So a lot of the time it was just like, well, let's just see if this works.
You had moved out, and then what, 2 years after I moved out or something like that? 2021?
You know what's funny? This is the first time we've talked about me moving away and I haven't cried. Because this is a different perspective. Because you're telling me about like the positive.
Right.
I had so much guilt. I had so much guilt, and that's why I didn't move out for so long. Because like we want to be as honest as possible in this podcast. We grew up in a toxic environment, and like leaving that toxicity, like the reason I moved out is because I had to at that point.
100%.
I had to for myself at that point. But I had so much guilt. I think I cried every single day for like the first few months because I was just like, oh my god, I abandoned my younger siblings. Like they're by themselves. But hearing this perspective of like, it gave you the opportunity to actually become your own person and not always have to rely on me. I like that because you make good decisions, right? And you know yourself best. No matter how much you need to rely on me or Ferran or whatever for advice, or you are the only person that knows yourself the best, and you can make your own decisions for yourself confidently without having like. It's good to check in. Like I always check in with you. We check in with each other. But when you know that you need something for yourself,
Yeah.
you can make that decision, and you should be confident in making that decision. And you might not make the right decision.
When I tell you, I got a little taste of you leaving when you went to Pakistan in 2010. Was it 2010? Oh my God. You guys, the way I would cry myself to sleep holding onto her picture.
Stop it.
She's gonna start. I'm gonna start crying.
I'm postpartum. Why would you?
I'm sorry. You know this.
I know, but it's so sad.
Anyways, but it was hard. It was like I had like two different feelings at the same time. Like I had seen this stuff that you were going through, or at least like seen how it was affecting you, even if I didn't know everything.
Yeah.
And like I was so incredibly happy that you were able to finally like just get out and like just be in your space and not have to like, I mean, I'm sure you still worried about a lot of things that were happening back home, which is fair. But like at least you had a space where you could just like breathe.
Yeah.
You know? Of course, on the one hand, I was like heartbroken.
Yeah.
But then on the other, I was so happy.
You know,
I was so happy for you.
What's wild is like the first day that I felt truly free and felt like I could breathe. It was crazy. I still remember this. So basically, when I moved down, the excuse I used was that I had to come down for a practicum, and I just made it happen that way. So I would work at a college and teach a social work program, and then I would go do my practicum after that. So it was like one day right between when I was like going to the SkyTrain station to go to my practicum, I just stopped walking and I just looked around and I was like, I'm free. And I just took this big breath. It was like in the middle of the winter. It was really dark out. And I just started fucking sobbing on the street. I'm pretty sure I scared people. Vancouver people are really cold. Like people don't really like ask if you're okay. Not that I would have like, talked to anyone.
Yeah.
But I was just sobbing and I'm like, holy shit. I, for the first time in my life, feel like I am free. Yeah. I don't feel like I have to answer to anyone. I don't feel like I'm being watched by anyone. I don't feel like I don't have to go home at a specific time. Like,
bro, my bedtime literally 9:30.
Yeah. So that was huge. That was huge. And I think that all folks growing up, especially women, especially eldest daughters or daughters in general, should experience that kind of freedom where you have financial freedom, where you have the ability to make your own decisions. And again, you're not always going to make the best decisions. You're going to make mistakes. That's how you learn. But that feeling is so important in your development. So important.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt that way?
See, I feel like my experience has been a little different in the sense that like anytime I have moved away, like when I moved out to stay with you guys, I already had people. Like I had you and Pai.
Yeah.
And it was nice because like growing up, the both of them were always very like open, honest. They were like, listen to me and my little brother, like if you guys ever get into any trouble or if there's something that, you want to talk about, we're always here for you. Kind of like a set of second parents. Like I always call Apple like she's been like a motherly figure to me my whole life. And I'm so appreciative of that. I didn't have to worry about being like completely alone.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to like force myself to learn certain life skills until,
Yeah.
later. But
that's fair. I mean, like everyone learns in different ways. The thing is, as long as you're learning, right? Like I think me and Farhan moving in together was a huge learning curve because it was the first time. We've always had to worry about bills. It wasn't that. It was like now we had to worry about every single last cent.
Right.
That's huge. Financial freedom and like financial education is so important. But I remember I was like one day we like had overspent on groceries or something. We were like panicking because like rent was due. It was a whole it was very, very difficult, but we got the gist of it and like you eventually learn and it was kind of like, oh, I at least was learning a little later in life because I was like 26 at that point.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, I'm like 26-year-old and don't know how to fucking budget for my rent. So lesson learned.
The other thing that I did in the last like 10 years was like I started like an Instagram page for my singing.
Oh yeah, you did.
Instagram had come out like obviously like a few years before that, but like I had started my page and like people that I knew in my life initially were like so encouraging of it. And then I started getting like other people that I don't know that started following. But I think the only regret that I have, and I know you can't like change the past, is like I wasn't consistent, And like
for someone who I just talked up for being consistent.
Yeah, like music, it's something that I never wanted to turn into like I never wanted it to turn into something that I hate doing.
Right.
And it got to a point where like people are requesting things, people are DMing me and being like, "You still haven't posted this song." Blah,
like
blah,
it
blah.
turns into work.
It turned into work, and I was like, I like to sing. I like to sing whenever I want to sing and whatever I want to sing.
Yeah.
Like I love to do requests, absolutely. But if you're gonna harass me for something like that, what the hell? And then like on top of that, just like experiencing that anxiety and depression, going through all that, kind of like pulled me away from the music.
Right.
But and I eventually got back to it. So
you're back to it now.
Yes, I am.
At Fizza Sings on Instagram.
And oh my god, we had our Mexico trip.
Oh yeah, we went to Mexico in 2019
right before COVID started.
Right before like
summer of 2019.
September of 2019, we went to Mexico.
August.
Whatever, like that. And you know what? That's kind of a side note. When I imagine, I'm a visual person. When I think of the months in a year, they line up like this for me.
Yo!
Because I think when you're a kid, like in elementary school, it's like January, February, March, April, May.
Yeah.
June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Yes.
Anyways. So it was in that corner hinge, September, August, September.
The trip to Mexico was like a highlight of my life in the last 10 years.
I think that's so fun. First trip we've taken together.
It is we haven't done any other sister trips. And now we have a baby. I say we have a baby. It's also my baby. But like I was telling you, like whenever she gets like to an age where she'll be fine without you being there, we have to go on another trip.
And then everybody died in 2020 because of COVID.
Oh my god, the anxiety! I could talk about that for so long. But
I think COVID just changed everything about the world.
100%.
It's one of those like really hard. It's like when the dinosaurs had the meteor or whatever.
Okay.
In a way, like it was such a big thing.
Oh my god. Okay, there's so many different perspectives to it. I think like one things that will really stick with me is like how rates of suicide went up by like 75% across the country. Because I was still working at the crisis center and we had to start working from home, and that was a whole thing. Instructors trying to figure out like how to teach online was a whole process.
I ended up having to do that. It was the worst. I hated it.
Thank God it was the last semester.
You know what's funny? When COVID first started like coming into the public, and I was like, oh, like what's going on? I was to my students, I was like, oh, it's fine. It's just another flu. Just wear a mask, wash your hands, sanitize, blah blah blah. Immediately the next week, it was like, do not come to class. Like classes are being transitioned online.
I still remember the first time Hassan and I went to go get groceries.
Washing them,
dude,
psychotic.
Dude, like it was like there was so much fear instilled in everybody. Like we were like wearing rubber gloves, we got our masks on, we're going out, and we're like staying super far apart from people. And then the whole toilet roll thing happened. We're like,
oh my, toilet roll
like,
gate.
Yeah, like limitations.
Dude, someone at the Costco in Vancouver hoarded a bunch of toilet roll and like got into a fist fight with somebody else. Whoa. It was wild.
What I do appreciate about COVID is like the way that we were still able to stay connected with our friends. Like how we did like online game nights.
What was it called? House party or like something? There was like apps and stuff.
Yeah, we played like Cards Against Humanity online or like little things like that.
I think on top of that too, like good things that came out of it is like people became more aware of like disabilities in the sense that a lot of things can be transitioned online, and so folks who can't leave their house due to disability for whatever reason, whether it's a doctor's appointment, whether it's work, whatever, they can do it online. Right. And so it made things a little more accessible.
I think the thing that I want to end off with is like ever since moving back to BC and like getting back into my music and stuff, I'm so proud of myself. Like in the last however many months it's been, what, 9-10 months, like I've connected with like the local community. Like I was already connected with Couch Jams, but like connecting with people over in Surrey, and then people that are like also Punjabi and like also like to sing the kind of music that I like to sing. I've been able to do like a couple open mics. I recently had an interview on the news. I was like, oh my god,
it was great.
So that's honestly been so nice, and just like being around other musical friends who like can teach me things, right? Like how to improve my guitar skills or like my vocal range. Collaborating with them. We also started going to the Shy Club. Like there's a lot of good stuff to come.
You have put so much effort into your music in these past 10 months, more so than you have in the last couple of years, and it's really showing. And I'm so proud of you. Anyways, we just yapped at y'all for the last, I don't know how many minutes it's been.
Well, we're really, really happy to be doing this. Honestly, however it's received we'll see what happens. But like, we're having so much fun. We had such a good time talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you have any suggestions on like the kind of things that you want us to maybe cover, leave a comment. Or you can also DM us.
DM us. My Instagram and TikTok handles are Supportive South Asian Sis.
And mine are Fizza Sings.
If you have any questions about our personal lives, or if you want to send us a story, whether it's about your relationships or like your first experience with a jinn, I don't know. Let us know. Shoot us a message. Leave a comment.
We've been doing this for the last 10 months.
Yeah.
Lying on the couch. Like, that's been the routine.
Now we're just
I'm
recording it. I am also unemployed on that leave.
Okay. What has the day been like?
If anyone is hiring.
We've just spent the rest, the second half of the day, just watching brain rot movies.
Yep.
Brain rot Bollywood movies.
Once the baby's gone to bed, we spend our night watching brain rot.
Munching out.
Talking.
Hanging out. So now we're doing this.
And we're recording it.
On camera.
Oh my God.
Okay. We are excited to see what you have to say, and we'll see you next time.
I knew this was going to happen. I look so depressed. I'm like, no, I know. Hold on. God.
No, not 90 degrees. The character that pipes.
What do you say? Beckett.
No. Back that. Back that. Back that. Grind that.
Sounds like we should cut and then come back.
Like that.
My theory is we all died during COVID, and this is just the afterlife. I'm Jiria. June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's 2026.
We're literally the same person.
I know.
First of all,
English is my second language.
people say, you know what I'm talking about, right?
No,
It's that, or it's the whole middle child thing, which we'll get into
You're
another day.
Lawyers are liars.
Mitochondria are the powers of the South.
I'm gonna tell yourself that.
Acha. 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 Acha.